Hello, everyone. The Army of Light Earth Division, the boots on the ground. It's Shawna L. Francis. Today is June 11th, 2024. Thank you so much for being here. It is the weekly briefing. I'm a conscious channel, and right now our main guides being channeled are Melchizedek. If you're new here, thanks for joining. It's quite a ride that we've all been on, especially the past few weeks here. But I'm back on my game. Things are good. Unicorns and rainbows all the way. Today's channeling over a couple of days, much sweeter and more positive, and something to look forward to, at least in subsequent lifetimes. We are talking about the new earth. We're talking about going from a carbon-based being to crystalline, and what that means. It's still pretty high level, but I think that's good because this kind of thing, because I don't understand the science of all of it, makes me a bit nervous. So Melchizedek has done a good job of keeping it high level, but still giving us enough detail to where we really understand, we can understand and grasp what's going to be happening here. So also early on in the beginning of this channel that I created with YouTube here like 3.5 years ago, the Galactic Federation of Light talked about this process quite a bit. I'll put some of those links below. Honestly, I have not had a chance to go and compare, what Melchizedek is saying today and yesterday versus what was said by the GFL 3.5 years ago, but everything seems to be totally in alignment from what I can tell, from what I recall. So it's pretty fascinating and exciting to think about. All right, before I get started, I did finally tonight put together the Eventbrite invitation for next week's live channeling Zoom call with all of you and Melchizedek. This is a big experiment for me. We're going to give this a try. The guides assure me we will do a great job and that I'm ready for this. So we're going to try this. So Eventbrite, I'm going to put the link down below. It is really donation based. So you don't need to pay anything if you don't want, but I'd love you to have your donations for this time if that sounds right and feels good for you. Again, that is going to be Wednesday, June 19th, a week from tomorrow. If you're watching live, a week from Wednesday, sorry guys, because this will be the 12th by the time this gets published, but June 19th, 2024, 11 a.m. Pacific time. You can use something like worldtimebuddy.com to find your time zone here for that time to match up, but I'd love to see you there. We'll get to as many questions as possible. I have no idea how verbose Melchizedek will be, but we have 90 minutes on the books, and if you donate $33 or more for this event, I will channel an answer to one question for you if we don't get to it in the live event. And you'll need to email me that question, and I will email you back the response. Either it will be text or it will be the actual recorded audio of the answer. All right, so that's also an experiment. So give me, I'm going to say 1 to 3 weeks to get those answers out, depending on how many questions come through. All right, team. So I'm going to get started here with what Melchizedek had to say. This was from yesterday. And then, excuse me, we continued tonight, I should say, with the rest of this. And it's quite a bit here. All right. We would like to start with a bit of a story once again. Many, many years ago, the negative reptilian race set out to prove that they would be the meanest, the most ruthless race of beings the universe has ever seen. They wanted to put this feather in their cap, wear it proudly like a badge. They sought to be feared and also to be revered. Fast forward to today. Their dream of being the most cunning, the most sinister species has indeed come true. They pride themselves on their ability to outwit the light, to be faster, stronger, smarter, guileless and working with impunity, always upping their game, taking the negativity to the next level, shocking other species who have been in the know of how they like to work. Guileless and working with impunity. I had to look up guileless, like innocent, and impunity, not ever getting punished. So they kind of just are able to, they figured out a way to be under the radar or just honor free will just barely enough to skate by. But here they are now at the end of the line for what they're doing. Yes, dear ones, Melchizedek continues. They have earned this title, the most ruthless. Like most things for them, this has been a sport, a competition of sorts. Who can be the baddest, the meanest, the ugliest? Humanity on Earth, at least this particular batch, never really had a chance to grow and evolve naturally with a harmonic balance between light and dark, with sovereignty, with true freedom, and it is such a travesty. Humanity is a beautiful species, full of heart, full of love, emotional by nature, eager, compassionate, helpful, and giving. Yeah. Those of us who watch from off-planet, those who support you from the ether, celebrate the day when humanity will be free from this tyranny, when you'll be able to flourish on your own accord. Also, guys, just to back up, when they say this particular batch of humans, my understanding from Archangel Metatron early on in my awakening is that this is indeed the 7th batch of humans here on the planet, the 7th batch. All right. But our ascension process, going from carbon to crystalline, 3D to 5D, while still in embodiment, is a first. This is the first time that this is going to be attempted. All right. They continue. For reasons already mentioned, Earth and humanity will get that chance, but not at this current density. All will be lifted. All will be made new. The time is up on this plane of existence. The plans are in motion and cannot be undone. Many of you ask, how can this be possible? Where are you taking humanity? What is this future that you speak of? How can this be so? We know that your comprehension of such things may be limited, but we do our best to explain. We do our best to explain how we understand the process. This dear one has channeled about this before, but it's been a long time, and the energies and the frequencies are thus that we're able to bring more awareness to this process. You are ready to know more detail here and to begin to comprehend it. It will be quite a comprehensive process, they said. You'll be going from a carbon-based experience to a crystalline-based experience. The 5th dimension, the 5th density, is that of unity consciousness. Love rules here in that space. Once again, just as your current 3D life here, experience here, life on the 5D ascended Earth will be a shared construct, an illusion, if you will, a place for learning and evolving. No longer will the moniker be the School of Hard Knocks. Instead, this place will be an eternal garden, love at the forefront, beauty, boundless beauty. All right, so just like today, life on planet Earth, life on, like any life, any incarnation that you're doing where you are embodied or having an experience, it is for our soul's growth. So this here, this 3D life on Earth truly is an illusion, a shared construct so that our soul may evolve. We are each of us as singularities. Singularities are aspects of a monad, an oversoul, an infinite soul of love and light, okay? And we are evolving as a soul. Always we are evolving toward love, something bigger, something greater. This here, we come to this place in this body at this moment in time to have experiences, to learn lessons, to balance karma. But really it's a place for lessons. This is really what we're doing here. And knowing this is a huge part of awakening. Knowing it, acting from it. Really, having this be your experience. It really helps you not take things so darn serious, knowing that, we're in lesson here. We're all in lesson. And it also just allows some acceptance too of what's going on around us, and allows us to kind of relax, take a back seat, and let the universe bring us what we need to learn and evolve. But we're always being supported in that way. All right, I'll keep going. The 5D world will have a much different feel to it, as you would expect. The density lifted, the gradiness cleared away, allowing for clarity, purpose, creativity, and flow. There will still be battles, but not in the way you understand them today. Robust conversations based on common goals, expansion of consciousness, collaboration that has not been experienced at this level thus far. The divisiveness that epitomizes the human experience here today will be gone. Unity, working together, working for the greater good, yet also valuing and supporting an individual's desires, their chosen lessons, their evolution, their unique signature. Yes, dear ones, heaven on earth, if you'd like to think of it that way. We understand that this is starting to sound quite biblical, and there is good reason for this. The ascended earth is the new Garden of Eden. It is heaven on earth, as it has been prophesied before. Christ consciousness, dear ones, this is where your species is headed. The embodiment of Christ consciousness as the norm, not the exception. You'll see your fellow brothers and sisters much as you see yourselves, expressions of Source in lesson and evolving. There will indeed be plenty of opportunity to experience darker aspects of living. Darkness will not be eradicated, but instead will be in balance. Much can be learned through denser consciousness, but it will be much different than how you understand this today. There will be galactic influence, help from other species and other star systems, from other planets, but humanity will be allowed to thrive and to grow mostly on their own. Many will seek to incarnate on the new earth for its unique experiences and lessons, for the ability to create at that level. 1,000 years may seem so far away, but truly, dear ones, it is happening quickly, relatively speaking. You are paving the way for this new earth. You are absolutely instrumental in its creation, and this will be magnificent. Okay, that was from yesterday. 1,000 years, team, is what they're estimating it's going to take to get to this new earth. And I do ask a little bit more about this. Melchizedek has spoken about this before. It's in a video or two, and it's been a while. It's been a long time. Last year sometime. We've been at these daily Ascension videos since March of last year. All right, team, I'm going to go ahead and get into the continuation here, some Q&A with Melchizedek based on what they had talked about the day before. All right, so I started this off. I'm like, okay, my loves, Melchizedek, yesterday with the new earth, you started out by talking about going from carbon-based to crystalline-based. And I said early on with the Galactic Federation of Light, they did talk about this, this would be happening while we are still in embodiment, and that there's going to be technology that's going to help get us to that level. But it's a big deal that this is happening while we are still alive. Many species, to make a big leap in consciousness, like what we're going to be doing, have to basically die and start over, kind of be reseeded. Okay. I said, I said it seemed like it was an off-planet process. Could you please talk more about this? And also, I said they talked about a resurfacing of the planet and an evacuation of humanity before that big resurfacing happens. So again, this was all GFL stuff from 3 or so years ago. All of this on the channel for free if you go back to my earlier videos. And there's a playlist it's the Galactic Federation channelings. And I channeled them for 100 days straight, actually, and we talked a lot about this. All right. I said, I can't imagine what kind of timeline we're talking about here when you talk about resurfacing. But I said, any information you can provide about these two things would be really, really great. They said, thank you so much, dear one, for the questions. What we will say is that the process of taking the physical human body from a third density carbon-based existence to a 5D crystalline experience is as follows. Then get into this. There's a concerted effort to raise humanity's consciousness, as we are doing now in earnest. Not everyone will reach the required threshold in terms of vibratory rate to progress to the next level. This is expected. There are many here on the planet, now and as the ascension progresses, who have not chosen the ascension path. This is perfectly acceptable and by design. For those who do reach this threshold, who have said yes to the ascension path, they will find themselves fast-tracked into the ascension process. Yes, dear one, as you mentioned, the Earth will be making a massive transformation from third density to fifth density. You have been told about the resurfacing of the planet. While you may describe this as cataclysmic or devastating, it will in fact be a natural part of the process. Mother Earth, raising her frequency from a third density to a fifth density, will require intense vibratory shifts. Literal shaking, they said, literal vibration. It is all part of the rebirthing process. Now you can imagine something vibrating at, a lower level than something vibrating at a higher level, and how that's going to shake things up. And, this happens kind of at a micro level with us, with our ascension symptoms. As we progress higher and higher in vibration, the vibration of the planet is raising. We are doing what we can to keep our vibrations high. It drudges everything up. Literally, it shakes things up, emotions, density. It comes up to the surface, right? And I mean, that is literally what's happening with the Earth. Her surface is going to be completely remolded in order to accommodate a higher vibratory rate. This is going to be massive. Again, I've talked a lot about this in the past with the Galactic Federation of Light. And then they continue here. Well, the end result of that process will be a rearrangement and a realignment of her physical surface. It is necessary to allow her to maintain and exist at the higher dimension. Once those humans who have said yes to this ascension process have reached a certain level of vibration and consciousness, there will be an evacuation of these people prior to the Earth's resurfacing process. There will be an evacuation of the humans who are on the ascension pathway off planet, so we can live through this resurfacing process. They said this will be carried out by the benevolent and supportive galactic family, taking you aboard their ships to continue the ascension process. I know how this sounds. I'm used to this, but man, when I first heard this, I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. Once on the ship, each person is placed into a deep, dreamless state of consciousness, a deep, deep sleep, a stasis, if you will. The second part involves the meticulous and careful physical metamorphosis aided by extremely intelligent and highly capable technology aboard the ships. This process is expected to take approximately 100 of your Earth years to complete. It takes 100 years in some kind of a chamber, some kind of technology, and it's probably organic. It probably is sentient, is my guess, because this is how a lot of this super advanced technology operates. There is actually consciousness here along with the technology. All right, it would take 100 years for us to go from 3D carbon to 5D crystalline. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. The end result being a complete and total metamorphosis of the physical vessel being aligned to a fifth dimensional vibration. Okay. This requires a restructuring beyond the level of DNA. It first begins with a gradual shift in the body's vibration. As the vibratory rate of the body increases, the structures that make up the physical body, the vessel, begin to align in different ways. The crystalline structure of the body that has gone through this transformation is a result of the increased energetic frequency. With this increased frequency of the physical vessel, there is an increase in light. And with the increase in light, there's an increase in information. With the increase in information, there is a permanent shift in one's consciousness. Side note, have you guys seen the videos of, I think they put sand on some kind of a plate that vibrates, and the sand, as it gets to certain frequencies, starts making actual geometric patterns? That's what comes to mind when they talk about the vibration making things align differently. It kind of goes into more structured patterns like a crystal would. And that's kind of how I'm thinking of this process. They continue here. Those who go through this metamorphosis would appear to be glowing and sparkling if you were able to gaze upon them from where you sit today. Their frequency would emit love and kindness. You would instantly recognize that this person is very, very different from what you know. And yes, dear one, to answer your earlier question, the resurfacing of the planet will take hundreds of your linear years to be complete and ready for rehabitation. The new humans will remain on the ship in stasis to be awakened before being reseated on the new Earth. Yep, this is happening, people. Imagine Mother Earth vibrating at the fifth density, as vibrant and beautiful and alive as she has ever been, ready to serve her new inhabitants at the fifth density. All right, and then they took a break here, and I said, thank you, Melchizedek, for that. I said, it sounds like a massive undertaking. I said, I can't even fathom how all this will be coordinated logistically and come together as you describe. It is truly the stuff of science fiction. And they said, yes, dear one. They just agreed. I said, is there any expectation or hope or goals for how many humans might go through this process on the ships and then be reseated back to the Earth at the 5D level? That's an excellent question, Shawna, they said. First, we'll say as many as possible. And this is what you are all doing at this level now, today, helping humanity with this awakening process. So as many as possible. Then they say here, the magic representative number, dear one, has been 144,000. That's where this number's coming in for Melchizedek. Sorry, there's a jet going by if there's any weird noises. But this is more conceptual in nature than it is literal. Truthfully, the reseeding of the planet with the 5D humans would not require a massive amount of people to make it a reality, but the more the better. All right, the 144,000. I have been told that I'm a part of this. I put it on a shelf. Then they said here, it is still to be determined how many will actually make it to this stage. I said, thank you, Melchizedek. I said, the Galactic Federation of Light also, I believe, mentioned that there will be a lot of humans on the planet at the time before the resurfacing that are not going to be on the ascension pathway, and they're not going to be ready to die either or transition out of their bodies. And I said the GFL said that there would be actually another 3D planet where humans who don't want to ascend could go to continue their lessons. I said, did I understand that correctly, and would you please comment? They said, yes, thank you, Shawna. The 3D Earth is actually being replicated in some important ways in another star system several light years away from Earth. This planet is expected to be ready to bring on new inhabitants as part of Earth's evolution to 5D. Always, always there will be a choice here. The goal is to create an environment that is supportive to humans who remain at the 3D level, those who wish to continue learning in that form. It will be different from Earth, but hospitable to humans. It will be a massive adjustment for those who choose this path, but it will be an option. Could you imagine that? I said, that's amazing, team. Thank you. I said, are those going from the 3D to the 5D transformation? Will they feel any physical pain, any emotional pain? Will it be uncomfortable? And they said, no, dear one. The newly awakened human who has just undergone this transformation will feel absolutely amazing upon awakening. It will be an ecstatic time. The increased light and the higher consciousness will feel amazing. It will feel very good to those who undertake this transformation. That's just so exciting. And I asked about you guys. I said, are there people who are part of our Army of Light Earth Division, the boots on the ground, who will continue to come back into embodiment on the planet all the way up and through this metamorphosis? Will some of us who are in embodiment now have aspects who will actually go through this transformation when the time is right? And they said, yes, dear one. All right. And obviously there's going to be many other people outside of our core group here watching these videos, looking, listening to these messages, who will also be part of this ascension process. Hopefully hopefully way more than 144,000. I hope a few million. I have no idea. Well, but it sounds like there are those of us, our souls will continue to incarnate here as aspects just like this, again and again and again over the next 1,000 years, and eventually make it to the new Earth. How do you guys feel about that? How exciting, huh? I said, is it already determined in this moment where we sit in Earth time which souls and soul aspects will be making that journey eventually? And they said, yes, dear one. And then I said, so for many of us hearing these messages, it is indeed our future selves as part of the same monad, the oversoul, who will be making this journey. And they said, that's correct, Shawna. The continuity and the continual cumulative evolution of the soul's aspects will be a critical part of the ascension to help us reach critical mass. Wow. Before I move on to this last part here, I just read for the first time, actually I listened to it on Audible on my way back from my retreat at Mount Shasta this weekend, Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss. And it is really a great book from 1988. Actually, Melchizedek said it was no mistake that I listened to this book. There were things in it that I needed to hear and know for personal reasons, but they also said that they were some of the masters that came through and gave Brian some information. So he brings a woman under hypnosis, and lo and behold, she starts talking about past lives and reincarnation. And guys, this is 1988, and it was still like an unknown thing or a real super fringe thing, the idea of reincarnation. Look how far we've come to 2024. I don't know, I guess you maybe think we'd come further than this, but it's so bizarre to think about, however, 30 years ago, this was still super fringy information. It does feel like consciousness-wise, we are really evolving quickly here. I can't even imagine where we're going to be in, say, 5 years with all of this. I think it's going to be incredible. So anyway, many lives, many masters, talking about reincarnation and how, we are just continuing to come back, and how we come back with groups of people, and we're continuing this momentum here. And obviously for me, having been at this for a very long time and really knowing a lot about my past lives and my time as a negative reptilian over and over and over again, changing sides, coming to the light, now being an angel in training. And me, as I sit here, Shawna L. Francis, having no conscious recollection of any of this, but yet here I am, balancing karma for this, making amends, atoning for these past deeds. And I do so happily and humbly. Yeah. So you're going to be on this ride for a while. And I said, thanks, Melchizedek. I said, for those of us who are watching this video, hearing this message, who may be feeling extremely tired already in this lifetime, who can't even fathom coming back over and over again and for the next 1,000 years to reach this point in the ascension, what would you say to these folks? Because you're probably all going, no, please no. They said here, it's all the things that we've been saying up to this point, dear one. You are seen and you are loved. You are so appreciated. And everything you are doing is helping with this process. You just being in embodiment at this time, this incredible time for humanity, is making a huge impact. There are parts of each of you who understand the bigger picture. It does get easier as your soul's aspects progress up the evolutionary ladder. You begin to understand the illusion better. You begin to assimilate more of unity consciousness in your day-to-day. It becomes easier to live in an environment where you understand the end goals and the games being played. This becomes more apparent to you while you are in between your incarnations. Many of the core decisions of who and what you'll be on the path that you're following are made at that level, dear ones. As the vibration here on the planet raises, the times for starseeds change. Your experience changes, it evolves, and it begins to feel more at home. Many of you will continue to return back to this planet to continue this journey because of this. Yeah, so, we leave this body, we go into this resting place, and we decide what we are going to do next. And many of us, from what I understand, I haven't channeled this, but from what I've seen and read and heard from other sources, is that we really love to be down here. We like to experience this contrast. It is a rich, rich learning environment, and it's unique. It's super unique. Even though there's a lot of horrible things going on here, it is on an ascension path, and this is extremely exciting for all of existence, for everyone who's paying attention around the universe. Like, this is a really big deal what we're doing, and we want to be a part of it. Even if we come down here and have no idea about the ascension, a part of us knows that this planet isn't on an ascension pathway, and there's limited time to really learn at this level. So we kind of fight to be here. We really want to be here, believe it or not. And then we get down here and we're like, what was I thinking? That's where we're at. All right, I said one final question for tonight, Melchizedek. I said, given everything that we've just talked about, can you be a little bit more descriptive about what's expected to be happening 1,000 years here on the planet? Yes, dear one, they said. Please remember that this timing is approximate. Around the 1,000-year mark, it is expected that humanity will have reached the necessary threshold from a consciousness perspective to begin the transformation from 3D to 5D, or conversely, will be ready to continue their journey on another planet at the 3D level. In any case, they said, no human will be left on the planet when Mother Earth begins her resurfacing process and her final escalation to the 5th density. I said, all right, thank you, team. I said, I imagine there's a lot of entities, galactics, and all matter of off-planet support that will help humanity assimilate back onto the planet and be operating from a 5D perspective. And they said, absolutely, dear one. All right, and that's basically where this all ended. Yeah, so this is a long video tonight. So much information. Again, if you've been with me from the beginning and you saw these original channelings from August of 2020, end of July, beginning of August of 2020, nearly 4 years ago, my gosh, that we've had this channel. It's just incredible. It's just amazing that you're still here. This is so great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But and if you haven't seen this stuff and you want to learn more and kind of see how that channeling came across in the beginning and my questions that I was answering at that time, you can check out those videos. All right, guys, we've got this. I will see you on Tuesday for next week's video, and then Wednesday, June 19th, we have our live Q&A with Melchizedek. Sign up at Eventbrite to reserve your spot. I will record this, but I do not plan to be sharing this widely. I mean, if you miss it and you've signed up, I will get you the link to it. But otherwise, I'm not expecting to be sharing this video on my channel. All right, guys, I love you. I hope you're doing amazing. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for being here. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye, everybody.